平和よりの近い70年前のこの日、
On this day, 70
この
years
上空
ago,
に投下された
over 70,000 people were instantly killed by the American atomic bomb,
7万余の
which was dropped over these skies.
真っ黒く
Corpses charred black,
投下した
voices begging for help from beneath toppled buildings.
肉がちぎれ
People whose flesh had been torn and was hanging loose, with their
かぼちゃのように腫れ上がった
intestines
顔
exposed, faces fallen like
目が飛び出してい
pumpkins,
る人
people whose eyes had fallen out of their sockets.
村上川で
Large groups of
命絶えた
people who had died in the Urakam River as they sought water.
一晩中
That
火の
night,
海でした
this land in Urakami was a sea of fire. It was hell.
地獄はその後も
That hell did not end.
火傷や
The
火傷や
uninjured, those who wandered the hypercenter searching for their families, and those who rushed to provide relief and aid,
急に駆けつけた人
suddenly
々が
developed
突然
reddish purple
体内に
spots all over their bodies
血を吐きながら
died,
死んでいきました
vomiting blood.
70年前の
On this
この
day
日
70 years ago,
私は16
I
歳
was 16 years old.
郵便配達をしていて
I was a postman.
していました
At that moment, the bomb exploded. I was riding my bicycle through Sumiyoshimachi, 1.8 kilometers from the hypercenter.
背後から
Suddenly, from behind me, there came a rainbow of light,
強烈
and
な
I
光
was blown over
人さえ
and crushed into the road by the ferocious force of the blast.
しばらくして向かってみる
When
と
at length I attempted to stand,
私の左の手
I
は
discovered that the skin on my left arm was hanging loose
小指を下げ
like
たよう
a
に
dirty rag from my shoulder right down to my fingers.
背中に
I touched my back and found that my clothes were no longer there,
布とや
and my skin came away slimy on my hands.
不思議なことに
Strangely,
傷から
I did not
一滴の血
bleed
も出
a
る
single drop of blood,
何も全く
and
ありませんでした
neither did I feel any pain.
他を二晩
I spent 2 nights in the mountains
3日の朝
until I was finally rescued on the morning of the third day.
3年
I
7ヶ
was
月の
hospitalized for 3 years and 7 months.
1年9ヶ月
I spent 1 year and 9 months of that time wandering the edges of death, lying on my stomach
不調さまよいました
because of the enormous burns which covered my back. And this gave me
骨まで去り
bed sores which rotted the flesh on my
今
chest
でも
to the bone. Even today, you can still see my heart beating between my ribs because it is as though my chest has been scooped out.
人の
I have been told that my lung capacity is almost half that of a healthy person.
ものは
The lives and health of those who had barely survived was in ruins.
国の
We
援護のない
spent
まま
12 years in
10
abandonment,
年間放置されました
fighting illness without receiving any aid from the state.
水水爆実験の
In 1956, encouraged by the anti-atomic and hydrogen bomb movements that had grown in opposition of the damage caused by American hydrogen bomb tests at Pekin Atoll, we, the Hibakusha atomic bomb survivors, established an organization for Hibakusha.
東の運動の
That
中
I did not join the mountain of corpses that day has enabled me to dedicate my life to the Hibakusha cause.
武器は持たないと
After the war, the constitution was established, which pledged to the world that Japan would never fight in a war again and would not possess weapons. However, now there is an attempt to return to the wartime era by forcing through approval of the right to collective self-defense.
逆戻りしようとしています今政府が
The
見落としている
security bills
戦争につな
the
がる
government is pursuing will lead to
約束を
war.
はじめ平和を願う
It is an
多くの
attempt to
人々は積み上げて
overturn
きた
the nuclear abolition activities and wishes held and carried out by the Hibakusha and those multitudes of people who desire peace.
許すことは
We
できない
cannot accept this.
核兵器は
Nuclear weapons are
残
cruel
虐で
and
人道に反する
inhumane.
兵器です
There is
廃絶すべきだという
overwhelming
ことは
international
世界の
support
圧倒
for
的な
their
声になっています
abolition.
私はこの
I pledge
70年
before
の
all
間に
those who desire peace
多くの
to
仲間
inherit the wishes of all my companions who have passed away over the past 70 years.
生きてる限り
And
戦争
that,
と原爆兵器
as a living witness of war and the atomic bomb, that I will continue to convey the truth of the atomic bombing throughout the world for as long as I live, so that we may realize a peaceful world without war or nuclear weapons.
平成27年8月9日役者代表谷口澄輝
That was the Pledge for Peace read by Sumiteru Taniguchi. He said he suffered serious burns and came close to death. He also touched upon the proposed security challenges. He said the legislation goes against the wishes of A-bomb survivors. It cannot be tolerated. He expressed his determination to continue talking about what nuclear weapons do to humans as long as he lives.